Hello everyone, this is Blackbeltginganinja, and for the first time ever, because this run has no original commentary, it was done without a mic, I'm going to be post-commentating the run. I'd just like to explain real quick before we begin that you see me spaz my mouse here because my mouse went outside the frame of the window, because I play in windowed mode, and that's why you'll see me alt-tabbing right on the zipline. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. Anyway, like I said, this run didn't have any commentary, so I'm going to be post-commentating it, mostly because it's a really funny run with tons of time loss and a lot of mistakes, but a lot of also really good optimizations. So, I used a lot of new tricks, but I also screwed up a lot of things, which is the reason I got the PB. The way I'm uploading this, you're probably not going to be able to see the splits, but I'll talk about the splits to help fill space for the commentary. I'm just going to be uploading the raw video, but I can see the splits on my video, so don't worry too much about it. I'll explain to you where I am in the run. The main reason this run PB'd was because of all the new skips. I made a ton of small mistakes, but then made that up with a lot of huge optimizations in the route, a lot of which were based kind of on luck. I had a lot of lucky things happen to me, I had a lot of unlucky things happen to me, and this run could technically be considered illegitimate because of a crash in Chapter 6, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Just talking about this prologue, which I kind of skipped over because I'm sure we've all seen a ton of prologues, and there's not much interesting to talk about. It was a pretty good prologue, not great. I don't think it ends up being sub 140, which is pretty close to optimal. Sub 140, I mean. But that's okay, you have to live with it sometimes. Especially since this run didn't even have Canal skip. I kind of just took anything that was not plus 20 out of Chapter 1. I kind of rolled with that, knowing Canal skip would save around 40 seconds. So I really didn't care too much about the first two chapters, although I ended up having a decent prologue in Chapter 1. You'll see me here do the kick glitch across the gap here. I've definitely become way more consistent at this kick glitch. I didn't get the perfect angle on it, but it was more important to maintain my speed, and I didn't want to risk losing all the speed. A lot of these kick glitches are, you know, fairly new, but a lot of runners do them now, so it's good to see the community as a whole optimizing their route. I obviously don't do the clip in this elevator because it's impossible, and no one does it, but there is the clip in the elevator there, which I guess could save time if you had really slow loads, but I sadly do not, so I just kind of have to deal with it. I'm pretty sure the RN guards didn't give me any trouble, but they very rarely give me any trouble. As long as you take a little bit of time before you try to jump over them, and then you either side jump on their heads or don't side jump at all, depending on the formation they come out in, you can get over them no problem on easy. They almost killed me there. I remember being worried about them killing me, but they ended up not killing me, so that was pretty happy. I get the faster Chapter 1 skip here, then I wait for the lag. I totally screw up the side jump boost because of a lag spike, so I had to redo it, and I barely made that Chapter 1 skip work. But it does end up working, so although I didn't save that much time by doing the faster Chapter 1 skip due to like the 3 lag spikes and then failing the side jump boost because of the lag spike, it still probably saved a second over doing regular Chapter 1 skip. I wish I didn't have these lag spikes, but it just kind of happens, especially when I'm streaming. I got this run on stream, and even though I wasn't using a mic and I had a fan pointed at my computer, it still kind of happened. I really like that kick glitch into wall boost too. It's a really nice little optimization if you get it right. I've been failing this kick glitch into wall boost a lot too, and like you see in the run, I couldn't remember if I got it or not. I apparently do not get it in this run. That's okay, especially because there's a bit of a lag spike there. Again, I have a huge problem with lag spikes because I play on a laptop. Even though it's a pretty nice laptop, it still kind of happens a lot. Not much to talk about in terms of this flight. I go into the flight -6. Because of my good Arland and my decent prologue, but I come out of flight -0 pretty much. I'll tell you in a second exactly what the splits say, but yeah, I come out of the flight -0.1, basically -0, so I ended up being even with my PB after the flight because my flight from this PB, or I guess not this PB, but the PB before this PB was pretty close to gold, maybe 0.6 away, so that was a pretty optimal flight, and I pretty much always lose at least a second on flight whenever I do runs. I guess I won't now, but, you know, what are you gonna do? I am getting the no-roll kick glitch here, which is nice, especially because I very rarely get the no-roll there. And then here, you'll see me I opt to do 2 wall boosts and then a ground kick glitch. I don't know if that's the fastest way to do it. I go for sign click glitch and I end up getting it, which is pretty nice. Again, sign click glitch is not technically the most optimal, but in terms of how easy it is, I get it fairly consistently, so I just go for it. I get pretty bad wall boosts on those couple last walls, but then I get a pretty good double wall boost there, so that makes up for it. I got stuck on the wall there a little, but didn't waste too much time. I ended up recovering well. Because of the no roll kick glitches, I do end up saving like a second over my old PB in that pedestrians. And then there's not too much to talk about for the rest of this chapter 1. I would like to point out that the music in the background is, I think, just like a chill mix from the internet. I'm going to link it in the description, and if you enjoy chill mixes, then you can definitely go look at that. Excuse me while I drink my water. So coming up here, coming up to the infamous Canal skip. Canal skip has been giving me a little bit of trouble, although I do have a setup which I like to think I can get fairly consistently. If I'm not paying attention or I'm really frustrated, such as I was during this run, then I tend to fail it. So I get stuck there under the staircase. That happens to me a lot too, but it's not too big a deal. I do the wall boost on these wall. I end up only doing one wall boost after the triple wall boost there, but I don't know what's the most optimal. Whatever works, I guess. So I end up coming here, grabbing the ledge so I can avoid a heavy landing, and I get kind of scared if I go for the roll. So right here you can see the canal skip. It's pretty tense. That was a close one. I end up using reaction time after that second kick glitch so I can get a proper angle on this wall and then time that last kick. Pretty shady canal skip. Wasn't perfect. I definitely wish I had done that first kick a little bit earlier to give me more time in the scroll, but it ended up working, so I guess I can't complain. And although you can't see it because this video is at 30 FPS, that brings us to the lag drains, where I was probably playing at like a variable 40 FPS. I definitely cannot sustain a decent FPS in the starting drains, which is why you'll see my mouse movement become a lot more shaky, especially for the next couple, maybe minute or two. I definitely played it safe in the storm drains. You'll see me kind of take it slow on this jump. Some jumps I don't even side jump around. This jump I had to side jump so I could get the fast vault and avoid the ladder. But later you'll see me, I think it's actually right here, I don't even side jump boost around this corner because it's honestly not worth it. I lose so much speed because of shaky mouse work due to the low FPS that it's just not worth side jumping. I kind of managed to get around that guard without him hurting me, and then I try to use right side master race for the springboard, and it ends up screwing me over. That's probably like a 4-second time loss there. It's a little bit of a time loss, but it's not a huge deal, especially because I am fairly sure I died there in my old PB anyway, so I don't end up losing time. For those of you who are curious, I was minus 30 coming out of the storm drains, or coming into the storm drains after that canal skip. So I do have a lot of time to kill. I end up being about minus 25 after the death and such, and the very poor movement in storm drains. And you can see that crazy lag spike I get there. Definitely makes the wall run a bit hard. I am saving up to get an actual PC because I just got a job, so hopefully I'll be able to remove lag spikes. And this is one of the first runs I think I've ever done without doing the kick glitch on the left wall. You saw me there jump on the little red thing. I usually avoid doing that because it used to kill me a lot. But I do end up doing it in this run because I think it's a little bit faster. Here, you'll see me opt to try to do the most optimized storm drains climb. I get it fairly well, I think. It didn't, I didn't mess it up, make any huge mistakes. It was a little bit overall slow, but that's okay. I'm okay with little movement mistakes. Yep, I slide glitched the button, and now we're just waiting for the elevator to come up. You'll see me alt-tab to type in chat because this is from a live stream. I got this PB earlier today. This is probably like 4 hours later. I was really tired and frustrated during the run. I'm still kind of tired. A lot less frustrated because of the PB, but I'm still not anywhere near happy with this PB. Right here, I ended up making a medium-sized mistake, I guess. Not a huge mistake, just it's like drop my input of clicking space I'd like to again blame that on low FPS, but I don't know, that was kind of my fault. I end up just sliding off the edge instead of coil jumping. And here, I just take a second to line up the elevator clip, easy peasy. And then I take about a second, wait, and then I can just run out and get the checkpoint. Obviously, if you've never seen this before, that is the elevator clip, and that does save, I think, around 4 or 5 seconds. I already have a pretty bad chase, so you'll see me save a lot of time on chase, or I'll tell you I save a lot of time, at least. I only lost about 3 seconds to my PB, believe it or not, after that mistake to the shotgun guards. So it wasn't a huge mistake, but again, little things like that add up, and it's especially frustrating. It'll be a good time save when I'm trying to beat this run, though. Nothing too major at all I can think of. This was pretty much my perfect chase. The movement wasn't perfect, but it's really hard to get optimal movement on chase because it's so finicky. I do end up saving about 10 seconds on my personal best due to the fact that I think I fell somewhere. It is a gold split, actually. I'm just looking now. I free scroll this elevator to make it go up about 2 seconds faster, which is why I end up saving time on this next split, even though it kind of screwed up. See, you see me here, I kind of screw up and grab that instead of just coiling right up. And even though I do that, because I free scroll the elevator, it went up faster, and I ended up saving a second anyway. So that is a 1040 no loads right there, which is pretty okay Chapter 2. I've heard of people getting that Chapter 2 without Canal Skip, so not great, but it's okay. You'll see me here doing wussy strats for 3A. I've lost a lot of runs to 3A after getting a good Canal Skip, so because I've never gotten a PB with Canal Skip, it wasn't worth losing so many runs to 3A, so I ended up taking the 5-second time loss and just doing ultra safe strats. I'm definitely going to add back in the little pole kick glitch at the beginning of 3A. Not sure if I'm going to add back in fence strats, because those things have been giving me a lot of trouble. Maybe in a couple months when I feel more comfortable with it again. I just tend to go through phases with fence strats and pole kick glitch, especially. Like I said, I only lose about 5 seconds to those really safe strats, because I had a terrible burr field in my old personal best. You'll see me opt to grab the gun here. Although it is, I think, maybe a tiny bit faster to not grab the gun and to just run really fast. I grab the gun because I like being able to shoot out the glass and shoot out the door. I'm not sure what's faster. I think it's down to frames, honestly. I do a wall boost into door wall boost. I really like that strat. It looks really clean, and I find it the best way. 1 second, I have to take a call. Okay, although no time has passed for you, it's actually been about 10 minutes for me. I am back. You saw me pretty much screw up Office quite a lot. Right now the run is -35, if you've been keeping track. And after Office, I think I end up losing 5 more seconds, and the run ends up being like -29-ish. I'm not entirely sure. That's pretty much the story for all my runs as of lately. I end up losing about 10 to 15 seconds in Chapter 3, gaining a little bit back in Chapter 4, losing a lot in Chapter 5, and that's pretty much the story of this run. It's very telling of all my attempts as of late. I'm getting the really cool double kick glitch. Well, it's not really a double kick glitch, but the wide angle kick glitch there, and this was pretty scary, but it went really well, and I ended up getting the fast thing up into that. I'm not sure if you can hear my dog barking in the background. Just ignore that. That is indeed my dog, and not some dog in your life. I'm not sure if the strat I do to get up there, I do the wall climb and then wall climb side jump thing to get onto the pipe. Not sure if that's the most optimal thing to do, but it's what I've always done. It's consistent. I like it. I'm not gonna change it up now. I do the quit and reload in this elevator. Probably lost me some time RTA, but definitely. Well, I'm not sure actually. I know it saved me time no loads, and that's all that matters. Normally I would do the kick glitch right on that wall to my right. I don't do it. Not sure why. Just I wasn't feeling it this run. I don't know how to explain it. Right up here, this rounded wall kick glitch thing, the really easy kick glitch, straight kick glitch, has screwed me up maybe like 4 out of the last 10 runs. So I was pretty nervous going into that, but I do end up getting it. First try, no problem. So that was pretty hype. I go for the fast climb here. I don't get it though. I get that fairly consistently. And it's normally like a thing you only see in chapter runs. But I do not get it, sadly. Right now I am minus 28, but after the split, I think I end up being about minus 30. So we're still pretty much a canal skip ahead. We did lose 10 seconds in chapter 3, but that's pretty normal because we lost 5 seconds in Burfield, and then it was a really good chapter 3, so I'm okay with losing 5 seconds to movement because my chapter 3 was so freaking good in this old PV. Yeah, I'm pretty much exactly minus 30 now. The chapter 4 was, it was okay. It wasn't bad, wasn't good. I'll take it. I do the fence skip here. I don't go down anymore. Not many people go down there anymore. Fence skip is really consistent for me. I do end up having to wait a little bit on the pause buffers, but because of the way no loads works, it really doesn't waste any time, no loads, if you have bad pause buffers. This is my first PV with blue wall, actually. If you don't know what blue wall is, you really should. It's just basically when you wall boost on this blue wall here. If you look down and I just turn my free scroll on and you just free scroll, about 11 wall boosts usually gets you there. The train almost snagged me, as you can probably hear in the audio from the game. I did manage to avoid the train. I missed that little wall climb up, which kind of annoys me, but what are you gonna do? So I went from minus 30 to minus 34, which is pretty cool. Because I missed the vault up there, I had to kind of waste some time getting up to that little room. I do not get the one cycle train here, so that does not mean I got 2 trains. I didn't even get 1.5 trains. Like, I got half a train there on the first train. I didn't get past this train at all. So because it screwed up the cycle, I had to jump to the side and avoid the train, which wastes, I think, about 4 or 5 seconds. I'm minus 34 right now. I think I end up being about minus 27 after this split, which is still okay. It's pretty much, it means canal skip is the only thing keeping me ahead, but considering that this personal best is a very good run without canal skip, I'm okay with that. I wasn't expecting to totally demolish my old personal best. Yeah, I'm minus 27 just like I thought. Not much to talk about on this train ride, so I'm just going to pause the commentary and come back when the train ride's over. Have fun with the music. Okay, and we're back. If you stuck with me this far, you'll remember me saying that this run is kind of a train wreck, and I end up having some crazy times. Right now I'm minus 28, considering the fact that I was minus 40 after canal skip. I've only lost about 12 seconds since then. I definitely want to qualify this as a train wreck. Well, Chapter 5 is where it all goes downhill. I had a very good Chapter 5 in my personal best, so I knew I wasn't going to gain time. Like, I wasn't going to come out with more time after Chapter 5. And I was okay with that. I was probably predicting like a 5-second time loss if I played well, which is fine. I can save a little bit of time on the split, and I can save a little bit of time on 5B, but 5C and 5D are very optimized for my personal best, for my movement and my strats. So I'm okay with losing time there, but I end up just bombing it Right here, you'll see me get elevator clip, which again saves a little bit of time, but I don't get the optimal movement afterwards. We're still minus 29. We're minus 29.0, exactly minus 29, which is still really good. Again, you'll see me see I'm pretty freaking stuck here. I ended up wasting like a second not climbing up properly. That was dumb of me. Right here, this is the first run I've ever done left side pull kick glitch. I recently switched because I like it better. Some people find it really hard. I really don't. I would recommend left side pull kick glitch to anyone that asks me. I do end up getting the good kick glitch into wall climb. I have been having a lot of trouble with that recently at that spot, but it ends up working out for me, so that's pretty nice. This little elevator shaft has also screwed me over the past couple runs, so I was really happy to see me get that first try. I lost like 15 seconds to that, the run previous to this run. That run died in Chapter 8 when I missed Ventrium checkpoint. Right now, I am minus 33. I ended up saving about 4 seconds over my old PB on that pull kick glitch split. Mostly because I just had really good movement. The left side pull kick glitch helped a lot because that saves like half a second, and then a lot of other little movement things. Here is one of the first kind of big mistakes. Just a death. Nothing too bad. I was okay with that. I understand that not every run's gonna be perfect, and that was one of the mistakes. Right here, I'm not sure if this was a good decision or not, but I look at the guard formation, and I get really scared that I'm not going to be able to get by them. So I end up climbing up and just taking the zip lines from the top. That probably wasted another like 5 seconds, but those guards were in a very sketchy formation, and I was fairly sure I was going to get auto-walked onto them if I tried to run by them. So maybe I saved the run by going up there, maybe I wasted an unnecessary 5 seconds. I'm not exactly sure. But either way, that was a decision I had to make kind of on the spot to avoid those guards. Everything else goes fairly okay. I do the wall kick there to get some, save the frames. And then I don't get an elevator glitch on this elevator, which I'm not sure if you can get an elevator glitch on, but wouldn't surprise me. You probably can't see it, but you might be able to hear it. I get a huge lag spike in this elevator because I get lag spikes everywhere because I play on laptop. Probably my biggest complaint. I'm sorry if people are getting annoyed with that complaint, but it happens a lot. I have a lot of trouble, by the way, wall boosting on these pulls, so I just stopped trying to go for it, okay? I don't even try to wall boost. I've never gotten a wall boost on any of those blue pillars in a run. I've tried it in practice. I sometimes get it. Here, again, you can see me pretty much completely screw this thing up. Like, it's really just not a hard trick, but I just endlessly flub it. So, because of all those mistakes and that one judgment call I had to make about the guards, although I was minus 33 going into the split, I am now minus 18, and it only gets worse from here because it's the beamer, and normally the beamer would not give me any trouble. That should have been it, but I was too far to the left on the wall, and I just didn't get the I didn't lock on. That I think I jumped too late, and then I get stuck actually getting the beamer again. So 2 really bad beamers that end up launching me, but I don't end up getting up. Both my fault, really. It was a lot my fault. I'm not going to blame the game on this one. But this ends up being like 9th or 10th try beamer. And then the worst part is, I don't even think I get the perfect movement afterwards. Maybe I do. Let's see. No, I do end up getting pretty okay movement afterwards. I get up okay. This is definitely not the optimal way to climb up, but it's safe and it works for me. In this room, I like this little strat I do here. I'm supposed to get a speed vault and not a slow vault there, but what are you gonna do? I do end up getting the fast slide into the vent, even though I don't do the strat where you jump on the railing. So that's pretty cool. Right here, you'll see me kind of wall climb, turn jump onto this. I'm gonna use that to roll into the fan, so I can avoid getting a heavy landing and having to do a neutral kick. Doesn't save any time, probably wastes a little bit of time, but it's such a swag strat that I actually can't resist doing it. Right here, I think I don't have great movement, but it ends up working out. I'm already losing time, so it's pretty discouraging. If you can't see my splits, but if you could, it'd be pretty discouraging. I came into this split minus 18, and I come out, I can tell you in a second, I end up coming out plus 10, almost plus 11. So At this point, I knew the run was kind of, not dead, but it was pretty sad. Like, this run was going to be not a great one, nothing to be proud of. And I went into Chapter 6 knowing this, but at the same time, I had failed Chapter 6 skip in my personal best, which was probably the biggest mistake in my old personal best. So I knew that I had to grab pole, because I'm terrible at Chapter 6 skip, and I always fail it. So I grab pole, and I do end up getting it first try, for the first time ever. I'd like to think that if I hadn't grabbed pole, I probably would have failed the skip anyway, so that's okay. So this, getting Chapter 6 skip first try, which I end up doing here, I get the ridiculously long load, but whatever. Getting Chapter 6 skip first try ends up saving me enough time to put me back in the green, but I am currently plus 10 to my personal best. I have pretty good movement, I think, for the majority of the factory. Nothing, not perfect. Some of the strats I do aren't perfectly optimal. Like this, for example, I could do the other strat to get down here, and that's technically faster, but I switched back to that strat you just saw because I get it a lot more consistently. I do end up getting this really cool double wall boost here. It's a pretty easy double wall boost. If you like double wall boosts, that's a really easy one to learn. I get terrible wall boost because of the hallway of lag, and I free scroll this elevator, which I think saves about a second or two. That makes the elevator go up faster, and I end up coming into the factory minus 13 again. So we're ahead again. It's okay. Nothing too bad to be worried about. It was right about here, and this is where the run gets kind of controversial. Right about here, that thought creeps into my head, like, oh my god, what if it crashes in the elevator? Because I would say it crashes in the PK elevator for me 1 in 3 times, maybe 1 in 4. So I was pretty scared going in. I was worried that it would crash, and luckily for me, it crashed. So here's what I did, okay? I paused the timer right now. The timer is now paused. The game crashes completely. As you can kind of see, I'm alt-tabbing and stuff and trying to reload the game. I reload the game, and because it's not set up for 1080p video, and the game loads in full screen, so we're in full screen now. So I quickly go back into the game, and I put it back in windowed mode. That's all I do. The timer at this point is still paused, but then, of course, because I overlay the timer, it goes black. So I take the timer on my screen, and I kind of shake it out. I don't know how else to explain fixing the glitch, but just by moving live split around, I end up fixing it. And the timer is still paused, by the way. So to rectify this timing issue, I unpause the timer. It stays paused because of no loads during this loading screen, and then I keep going, which theoretically, this is no faster or slower than doing the quitter reload. I didn't waste any time. So my timing is completely legitimate in terms of no loads. In RTA, it's kind of screwed. So that's why in the description, I'll provide an estimated RTA of what that would have been without the crash, and an actual RTA of this run. But yeah, the Mirror's Edge community I took like a quick ask in the Skype group if this run would be okay. Because the timing is exactly what it would have been if I had done a quit and reload in that elevator, and that technically didn't gain or lose me any time, and because that crash is completely random, it's not like I did something that makes it more prone to crashes, which I could have avoided. The crash is completely random per person. The Mirror's Edge community seemed to be pretty okay with me just allowing this run to go through. So that's the deal with that. The game crashed. I paused through it. It's technically not single segment, but it's the exact same as single segment, the exact same timing, so really shouldn't be an issue. I missed the kick glitch wall boost there, although I did get rollless kick glitch before, so that's okay. This Chapter 7 ends up being kind of average. It happens. Especially after that Chapter 6, I wasn't going to complain that the run was still kind of alive. I get over the fence first try, using that turn jump method, which definitely is my favorite method of getting over the fence. Right here, I'm going to go into Celeste fight. Celeste fight goes okay, I guess. Nothing too bad happens, but I think she ends up... I don't think she ends up rolling. She ends up hitting me once, right? And then I get good hits on her from there. So, it could have been more optimal. I could have avoided her hitting me by either ducking, or well, probably not by ducking, but by going away and then coming back. I don't know. Overall, that's an okay fight. So if you've been keeping track, I went from minus 40 to plus 10, and now I am minus 14. So right about now, it seems like this run is going to be okay, right? If I can keep this kind of movement up, especially because my PB didn't have Ventrium, it'd be okay. Look at this awesome strat. That damage boost. That's a pretty crazy strat. This run is kind of back on pace for being okay. Well, Chapter 8 completely screws that up, okay? Like, I thought I was in the clear at this point. Like, oh, this could actually be a PB. Unless I mess up maybe Ventrium or Beverage Lift or something crazy. But luckily for me, this run took all the pressure off, and I completely screwed up something way before I thought I could ever screw something up. So here in 8B, Chapter 8, Checkpoint B, you'll see me pretty much go through the normal movement. Still not sure how I screwed this up, but it happens, I guess. I go for the kick glitch on this wall, and I just end up completely flubbing it. Because normally I would just take that death and not quit and reload, but landing down there actually triggers a checkpoint, and I would have to go all the way around, and overall, it just saved time to quit and reload and try the checkpoint again. Luckily, I get it, I don't want to say no trouble, because I kind of screw this up. I try to get on this vent, and it just doesn't work for me. And then I try to get up here, and it just doesn't work for me. Overall, really sloppy 8B, okay? But it does have the out of bounds skip. I went for that. Not great at the skip, but I end up getting it fairly well, actually. You can do some wall boosts here, and then just line yourself up like this. Walrus, I've seen him do it. He does like a kick glitch into sidestep. That's a little bit risky for me. I'm not feeling that, so I end up just doing the jump there, and you can line the jump up really well. I only lost about 10 seconds, believe it or not, because of the skip to 8B. That saved a lot of time back that I lost from dying. I do end up not doing my other swag strat in Atrium. I don't know why. Just kind of muscle memory took over, even though I do the swag strat more than I do the normal Atrium strat. But whatever. I guess one less opportunity for mistake. My subconscious kind of just took over there. I really focused during this Atrium, which is probably why I didn't think about the swag strat. This swag strat, though, I end up doing. And then I do end up going for Ventrium. This is, I think, also my first run with Ventrium. I've said that a lot during this run, but I implemented a lot of new strats during these last couple attempts, including Canal Skip. I end up missing this, but I get super lucky. I land on that little box, okay? And then I end up just being able to try it again, and I get it this time around. So I'd like to thank the Mirror's Edge gods who graced me with landing on that box and saving the run, because I probably would have just reset there if I hadn't done that. Although last run, the run right before this was about minus 15 coming into Atrium, and it died to missing the checkpoint there. I just reset. This run luckily does get the checkpoint, so it is no problem. After the Atrium, I was minus 3 after pipe skip, but after Atrium I saved 3 seconds. I would have saved more if I hadn't fallen trying to do Ventrium, but I don't completely die, so it doesn't waste too much time, so I end up being minus 6. Which is still good pace, as long as I don't screw anything up in Chapter 9. I was pretty sure I was going to get a PB, but think of it on my end, okay? There was a lot of BS that went down in this run, like, quite a lot of it. A lot of really bad deaths. I had the crash. I didn't know if the Mirror's Edge community was even going to accept this run, because it's not technically single segment, although the timing is identical. I just wasn't happy with this run. I'm still not really happy with it. It's just, it's funny enough and interesting enough of a run with all this time loss and gain that it was worth uploading. I go for the fast 9A because I'm actually really consistent at that, but it screws me up this time. That's okay. That fast 9A, I was really hoping. If I had gotten that perfectly, I probably would have played it safe the rest of the run, because I would have been ahead by about 10 seconds. I was 10 seconds ahead coming out of that Chapter 8. I ended up saving 4 seconds on those last 2 checkpoints in Chapter 8. But after missing fast 9A, and then I think I end up even, like, kind of getting, yeah, bonked here. I'm only minus 4 after that explosion. So, being minus 4, I kind of gave up. I figured that was it for the run. It wasn't a good run. it wasn't worth keeping. So I decided to go for a Super Extended Beverage Skip. I never practiced Super Extended, ever. The last time I practiced it was probably 2 weeks ago. I tried it for about 30 minutes, didn't get it once. So I just kind of quit. I was like, I'm never doing Super Extended. So for me, doing Super Extended was my way of kind of just throwing away the run, being like, this isn't worth a PB. It's not even a legitimate PB. It's not worth keeping the run. I'm done. So I don't kill the guards. I just go for the fastest strat. I line myself in the corner. Pretty much my setup is I'm trying to emulate Walrus. He's the only person I've ever seen get it. I've seen Rut get it probably before, once or twice, but I really only watch Walrus do it. I don't end up catching a lot of Extreme, so I'm pretty much completely guessing at Walrus' setup, and I end up getting it with no practice. So that kind of saves the entire run. Kind of sucks for me, because now I really actually have to learn Super Extended Beverage Skip, even though I've never really learned it. I got it, so now I have to learn it, or else I'm going to lose 30 seconds there. I end up missing the fly up the sniper skip once because of all the nerves. I get super nervous after I get Super Extended, because I've never gotten it in a run before. Oh, that's not true. I got it in one run that was +6 once without practice. So that's the second run. It's the only run with PB pace. Again, first time I've ever got a PB with this. I've added a ton of new strats in this run, including, unintentionally, Super Extended. I was not planning, under no circumstances, if I had a run that was like a minute ahead, there's no way I would have gone for Super Extended ever. Like, I'm scared of that skip. I really don't like it, but I got really, really lucky and pretty much copied Walrus on site to do the skip. So I'm pretty awesome. And that ended up working pretty well for me. So the only thing stopping me now from possibly PBing is Ventrium Skip, which is fairly consistent. I'm not too worried going into this. Sniper Skip was a little bit scary. My Sniper Skip was pretty iffy, if anyone saw that. It wasn't a great Sniper Skip, but it ended up working. I don't get Tony Hawk strats here, which is nice. And then I jump up the stairs, and I get pretty low health, but I get the clip for a strat. So that's it, really, for the run. Tree strats, because tree strats are life, and a run without tree strats isn't a legitimate run. Probably should have jumped up that last set of stairs. Don't copy my movement there. It's really unoptimized. But yeah, this run is really up and down. A lot of time loss. I'm now -30, in case anyone's been keeping track. My LP was 34.24, and I'm currently at 33.46. So I do end up getting the first sub 34 for me. The run, I grab pole, although my split's safe at 33.56, I grab pole at 33.55, and split on pole is the only way to do it. So this run is a 33.55 no loads. RTA, I have to time out, but I guess we'll see. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble on about the run for the past couple of minutes, and hope to see you guys around on stream. Bye.